Ready?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Rent Boys podcast. It's me, Dom Atom Woods, as Alex would say, award something comedian. Well, Alex isn't here today because he's at the Edinburgh Fringe, so we're joined by Ethan's over. Ethan Smith's over here.
You're on back over.
Oh, sorry, mate. Ethan Smith's over here in the corner.
Space. You know what I mean?
Say hello to the people.
I'm here.
Fucking hell.
They knew I was here. They've seen me before.
And we're joined by Beck.
I was waiting for that. Hello, everybody.
A special
I'm
guest.
here. I'm not being held hostage. I'm actually here by my own will. I think my career's peaked at this point. So, 140 people. Most I've ever played to.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, they might not all watch it, or more people might watch it, actually.
Yeah. What if I put it out on my Instagram story? Because most of your followers are bots. That's the only one I'm getting.
Well, you don't think most of your followers are bots?
Most of my followers are OnlyFans girls.
Are they?
That I pay for. No. Some.
You've got some OnlyFans accounts open, mate?
Not many.
No?
Just your mum. Hey! And we're off. No?
So yeah, thanks for coming in, mate. Alex is obviously away at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, where I'll be next week, if anyone wants to come and see. But Ethan's going to be there as well.
I'm going to come for a short duration of time, yeah. Like a day or two. Just to check out the vibe.
Just to see what's going on.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
You wasn't going to come, and then you had a gig, and then you had some kind of eureka moment where you decided you were going to come.
Well, I just thought... Basically, what happened was Dom offered somebody else's floor, and then...
My floor?
Yeah, of your accommodation.
Yeah.
And then said, oh, Ethan, you could come as well and share that same floor. And I thought, one, that seems shit. And two, that doesn't seem fair on the first floor goer.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a floor, that's not so bad. You can deal with that. Whole floor to yourself.
Yes, please.
The floor's the biggest part of the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a king down there at the
So
bottom.
you've changed your what do they call it?
Perspective.
Yeah,
Perspective?
Yeah, that's the one.
On
Exactly.
floors.
That's
you're
what
just
I've
more
done,
of
yeah.
like...
So what changed that?
More
What was
floor to go
the
around.
changing moment for you, mate?
What?
What was the changing moment for
I
you?
just thought, oh, I've got nothing else to do. Been a bit bored.
Yeah.
I like how I didn't get mentioned that I'm going to Edinburgh. I mean, I
Yeah, but
know
you're not coming with me, are you?
Beck's going
I wouldn't go with you.
Why not?
I mean, I would come with you and we would do some spots and shows, but we'd go in at different times, I think.
But the problem with taking you is you take up a whole car.
Yeah, well, I have to have my chair to be funny. And you've took it off me. I feel violated on this podcast. That for anyone that doesn't know me, I'm usually I've got wheels.
For anyone that doesn't know me, who do you think you are, mate? Anyone that's not seen me, anyone that's
I'm just assuming that the people that watch this podcast are going to be people that know of or know you guys. So you know.
Yeah, but you're not like. What you're saying, like you're the king of comedy. Like for anyone that's not seen me before on my multiple TV appearances.
I'll be honest.
Well, I'm just saying I'm very recognisable in the chair. Off the chair, I'm like different person. You know?
Yeah.
It's completely different is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to act like a big bollocks. Nobody knows who I am.
Yeah.
I'm an open micer.
As we went over earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Right. Beck is in a chair, and you've had some success recently, haven't you?
What do you mean?
On your Instagram, your Instagram's
Oh,
going crazy.
I thought you were like with the chair, like.
No, you've been doing the street interviews with the chair, and you've rocketed off. Of course.
Yeah, it's fucking mental, man.
So what's that been like? Because obviously,
well, it was kind of a moment where I just started uploading content more to kind of just do something aside with stand up, because I was doing stand up for a while, and I was like, I need to do something with my career, I guess. Try and push it forward, and I realised that I can't drive, can't really use trains because of the chair. Started uploading, interviewing homeless people like me interview people like me. I don't just go up to homeless people; they come up to me, and obviously now I pay them every time I see them. It's a weird situation.
Yeah, but also we've talked about that. That is extortion on
You
their
pay
part.
them.
You can't just
no.
You can't just keep giving them cash.
The first homeless person, he comes up to me one time when I'm recording. He goes, "Can I record an interview with you?" And I'm kind of like, nah. But then he's like, go on. So camera's already rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. He's really nice. He spits some nice facts about disabled people. He's calling people.
Spits
He
facts.
goes, "You knobhead of sausage.
Right.
You want to wheel this fucking chair." He's like sticking up for me, you know, whatever. So then every time I see him, he asks me if I've got change, and I feel guilt tripped. So I just give him
Guilt
like
tripped?
whatever I've got. Yeah, you know, someone guilt trips you. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
And then I just get, you know, a bit like, give him a bit of money. And then the other homeless guy, Matt, you know, crackhead Matt?
I do know Crackhead Matt, yeah.
I love Matt, man. I love Matt to bits. He's in the Northern Quarter. And my mum, after she was watching Take That, if you know middle-aged mums, they love Take That and they get hammered after it. And I was doing a gig, so Creatures Comedy Club. She comes to Creatures Comedy Club. This homeless guy, Matt, lovely guy, tying my shoelaces. Don't know why, Matt. Don't need it to tie. I'm not going to trip up. But tights, there we go.
You said that as if he was watching.
He might be.
Well, he might be. It's not. Ethan said he's not really homeless, so he probably
Oh, is
has
he
a
not?
phone.
Well, listen.
And if you say you don't have any change, he goes, "I can do bank transfer," and you're like, "You're not homeless, are you, mate? You need, you know."
Has he got a home?
Who knows with Matt?
I think he's got a den.
Who knows what
I
Matt's
think it's
up
just
to?
the place where he lays. But anyway, he's tying my shoelaces. My mum sees this and she loves anyone doing anything with me because if you're a disabled mum, you fucking go crazy if someone does something for your
A
kid.
disabled mum. Is she disabled as well?
Disabled.
No, it's
Mother
just
of
what you call it,
disabled.
just a disabled mum.
Is it?
Like, she is blonde, so she's probably a bit intelligently. But she dyed her hair blonde.
Hmm.
Which doesn't really count.
That's a pretty stupid thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty blonde thing of her to do.
Right, come on. You was on. You had a
Sorry.
point.
This is what the whole thing's
You
going
had
to
a
be.
point for a minute.
Alex is going to have to edit all this
So
shit
go
out.
on, because I was there on that
What did you
night.
touch his head for? You went so go on and touched his head as if it was like.
He was
Yeah,
there,
no,
I
he was
don't know.
tying my shoelaces, and then Monk was over, and he's like, "Oh, here you go, mate," and gives the guy a tenner. And he's like, "No, I don't want it. It's all right. Me and him know each other." And she's like, "No, go on." Gives him the tenner, goes in for a hug. I think,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's nice." She's a bit drunk, pecks him on the cheek. I'm like,
Whoa.
"Whoa, that's a bit. I've got a new daddy. Hello."
Sauces him off.
And then, obviously, as she's leaning for the hug, she goes, "You smell of BO! Use that tenner to get a hostel and some deodorant."
Yeah.
And then now every time I see that homeless guy, he's like, "How's your mum?" So now I feel like indebted to that homeless guy as well.
Yeah.
And that's all through filming.
Right, you
filming.
don't owe any of these homeless guys anything, by the way. Just rule of thumb. You don't have to give
No,
them
I
anything
think a
when
lot
you
of
see
them, they're great guys. They're very interesting
I'm
people.
just saying, you don't owe
Um,
them anything. It's not like
They're great guys.
So do you give him money every time you see him?
Not every time, but if I have money, like, I don't need a use for cash. He's going to get more use out of that. He's struggling. I'm not struggling. I'm making these videos. He made a video for me. Like, well, you know, he said, "Can I be in a video?" That video did well.
Yeah, but he
So-
also said
Yeah,
we should.
Yeah, let's not go into that.
What did he say?
Well, no, we made him. So after this interview took place, he got 500k views, as Ethan was saying, did really well on Insta or whatever, and I've been doing all these interviews and stuff. This particular interview did 500k. He's obviously, whatever, knows it's gone online. He's like, "How many views now?"
Yeah, he's had a look. What's he called? Dean.
Desi.
Desi.
Shout out to Desi, my mate.
Desi's had a look. at
Who's
it.
Desi?
He's the homeless guy that I filmed.
He's the homeless guy.
Yeah, right.
And I've got him. I've not put out some footage. I'm debating whether to put one piece.
So
of footage.
me and Beck were outside the club, and he goes, "Right, we're gonna have to make a part 2
Right.
because he's seen all the success."
Yeah, at that point it was
The
on like
first one's
300,000
Yeah, it was big. It was a big video.
in like a couple of days.
So Beck's like, "Fuck it, right? Crack out the camera."
Yeah,
And
I shouldn't have done that.
Desi has some real strong views.
On what?
Down
about-
syndromes. That's for sure.
Whether or not you should be able to like marry or have sex with Down syndrome people.
But he was proper like in the camera, like
He was
shouting,
like, yeah.
Down syndrome people should be allowed to fuck normal people. And I was there trying not to laugh. I had all the people staring because obviously he was being really loud, so everyone was staring,
was a lot.
thinking that I had engaged this. No, he had asked for this interview,
There were some strong views there.
and then he was
I don't have an opinion.
And you
either
were
way.
like laughing, and I was trying to get him away and end it. But the thing is, with Desi, if you keep the camera there, you have to kind of be like firm with him, be like, "Nah, we're done."
Yeah.
Like even the other day, I was filming normal interviews. I never wanted to interview Desi again because it's disturbing him. But he actually, I think, likes. the
It's
cameras.
disturbing him.
Well, he likes the attention as well.
So then
but-
when then he comes and goes, I spit bars, can spit bars. I'm like, I don't really do that. I'm a comedy channel.
Yeah.
Right, I'm debating to put this footage out, so it might go out on my page. I'm unsure.
Right.
And he goes, I spit bars. All right then, come on, Desi, you can
Be
spit
out
some
on
bars.
Patreon.
So he sits down next to my cameraman, autistic Dylan. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out
He's
to
sick.
Autistic Billy.
And he starts.
What's everyone getting a shout out for?
We're just getting shout outs.
Everyone gets shout out. Shout out to Chris. Hey Chris, you make benches. I don't want a bench. I want a chair with wheels.
Get
I
us a
think
bench with wheels.
That's where Chris is making his money. I told you, I just go off on tangents.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, I'm thinking that.
So anyway, what happened with Desi?
Desi, he was fucking. So Dylan's recording, fucking, and he starts rapping, but he's like, "I'll do a rap about cripples."
Right.
So then he starts rapping about cripples, and he's got like, I don't want to be stereotypical, but I think it was crack.
Right, okay.
It was a cigarette. It was something rolled up in a paper.
Yeah.
And he had it in his hand, and he started rapping about cripples, going cripples, raspberry ripples, all this kind of stuff. Really kind of funny.
It's not bad.
Yeah, he was just doing. He was like, no, he was spitting pure bars for a good 5 minutes.
It's rhymed one word.
A good 5 minutes, and then he starts talking about like rapping, smoking heroin, and crack. But he's got this like thing with him. So I'm thinking, is he talking about being on it now? Because his lyrics seem very like
Seem relevant.
yeah.
Yeah, and seem like he's coming from a place.
I don't know.
Of
I don't know whether to post that, but it would get a lot of views. But I just think out of respect for Desi, it's best left on my hard drive as a private watch.
Got respect
Private
old Des.
I'll yeah. Well, you never know. Keep your eyes peeled for that. The crack and heroin dance.
Yep.
By Desi. But yeah. So he's going really well on the Instagram. We're having a good time and
Yeah,
that. He's still
25k
gigging.
in like 4 months and what 6 mil views. It's absolutely wild.
And I think we've been going swimming, haven't we, once a week?
Fuck yeah, baby, love
So
it.
I've been like a pseudo carer.
Yeah,
So it's been a bit mad to be a part of your life. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You have been a part of my life properly now. Like every week we've been going swimming for a good few months.
yeah. And
So
I
you've
kinda
seen things that other people
I get the perspective from
see.
from behind the chair. It's a bit like. It's a
That
bit
sounds like your bum fucking me.
Well, yeah.
Get the perspective from behind the
I
chair.
didn't mean it like that, but I meant like more like a war reporter. You know what I mean? But like they see the horrible things going on.
What are you?
And,
What are these inside things you're seeing?
What? Drop down curbs?
No, it's like so. Right, you have your life. You live the life as Dom Hatton Woods,
Yeah.
right? And you do all your Dom things, and you go for your walks, and you buy your ice cream, and you write your bits, and you die on stage, and you know, sorry, you do you, and you have your things and your way of living. But because you have use of your legs, your life is stereotypical in a way.
Right.
But then, like,
Well,
there's
just because
certain.
I've got use
Well,
of
you
my
got- yeah,
just
you
because
gotta
I've
think-
got use of my legs, you think my life's not unique?
No, I'm not saying your life's not unique. I'm just saying it's not going to be unique in the way of doing certain things, or you're not going to have to worry about. You just take things for granted, is what I'm going to say. You would take things for granted. And Ethan, I think people, when they spend time with me, they realise they do take things for granted, and they realise how hard it
Yeah,
is.
that's
actually.
what I
And
was
that's
trying
what
to
I think
get
it's
at.
opened Ethan's eyes. It's like doing a psychedelic. I think being with me, you kind of like
It's
see
like
a
doing a
different.
psychedelic.
Yeah, if you're being with me, it's like doing a psychedelic. You see a new different world.
Yeah. Well, drop down curbs.
Beck CH2.
You ever seen
Yeah.
a drop down curb?
Yeah, but
A drop down curb.
you know, like the curbs with blind people. So you know when you see those curves and they got the
They drop
stumbly
down.
bits,
Right.
so blind people can feel with the canes.
All right.
But there's also a drop
but
down.
it's dropped down for wheelchairs.
so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can get up on there.
But like obviously,
They're annoying. Found them annoying.
yeah, bus drivers. Oh, you have a funny
Bus
story about what you
drivers.
did to that bus driver.
Well,
Well,
I
that's
just-
why you can't park in front of a drop-down curb.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
but I bet you're the
Yeah,
type
that-
of guy
that
that
is
does
why.
though.
No, I actually don't. I'm pretty considerate driver.
But to be fair, the amount of stuff I've said to you today, I respect you for saying that. You know, you've earned my respect.
You've
I'm lying,
redeemed
but-
yourself.
You're lying, yeah,
No,
you
I'm not
definitely
lying.
do.
Scum.
You definitely parked in a disabled bed before, that's for sure. You've definitely parked in a disabled
Yeah, I used
bed.
to do, yeah. But
Yeah.
when there's loads free, there's not that many disabled people, is there?
What in the world?
Yeah, but the thing is, this is what everyone thinks. They think, oh, you know, we'll park in a disabled bed. There's not many disabled people there. There might not be at that time, but if you're in the shop for an hour, 2 hours...
Who's
and
in a
like-
shop for an hour,
Well,
2
I
hours?
don't know. You're just buying ice cream. Obviously, you're not an adult yet. Like, if you're buying proper food and doing a shop, you're in there for a couple of hours, you know.
No, you're not.
Friday... All right, just because you had a butler to buy your shopping.
You're not in there for a couple hours.
Big Friday, big shop, chav, but you know,
Right,
your family would be
little
in there a
big
few
shop.
hours, get the smiley faces, looking turkey dinosaurs, Ethan stop climbing in the freezer and shit.
Yeah, I would be. In
It'd
that
be a whole
freezer.
experience taking your family thing, right? And you
Right.
parking, I'm dribbling, And you park in the.
Not the
I do
first
that
time.
a lot. And you park in the disabled bay, and you think, oh, not many disabled people here. At the moment when you're parked, there's not. But if I turn up and
As soon as you leave your car in that disabled bay,
There's a bus coming.
they come out of the bushes and everything, don't they, Beck?
that's what I mean. It's
They're
like,
around.
by the time I get there, the spaces are all taken by people with that exact same logic, thinking there's not going to be any disabled people here. It doesn't matter if there's one
no, it is
disabled people
annoying.
here.
Like the other day we went to the swimming baths. We go swimming, and there was a lady in there, walking around in the disabled bay, in the disabled changing rooms.
Yeah.
And it's chairs in that, and so we had to go and like get the security in that.
But you don't really need a disabled bay, do you?
Yeah, of course you do.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because you got a chair, so you're all good.
How are you going to get the chair out?
Right. Have you ever seen the photo of a disabled bay?
Yeah.
When you look on the floor, what's the photo of the thing? You don't need a disabled bay because it's in a chair. The disabled bay photo is a wheelchair.
Yeah, but that person's
That's
clearly
him.
clearly got bulimia as well because they're like
Are
stick
you
skinny.
joking? Beck
just trying to-
modelled for that. Beck modelled for that.
That
Sign.
was my drawing. My stick figure drawing of my dad.
Of your dad?
So yeah, because I find
I've seen your dad. I haven't seen your dad actually.
No.
He might be that skinny.
it's a different. Yeah,
My dad ain't skinny.
He's not
Fat, is he?
Fat.
Right, well that's.
Well, yesterday I played
This is
golf.
great listening.
Well,
So how is this entertaining for 140 people? There must be some perverts just
We'll
watching
try
this.
and get
because you're
some
not normally on it. so.
We'll try and get some out of it.
What you mean? It's more
More entertaining when you're not here.
when I'm not here.
Yeah.
Right. Put that. I want that in the comments. No disrespect to Alex. Alex is out of this.
Beck, there's going to be no comments.
Well, obviously, because you don't get enough people.
Exactly,
in the
that's what I'm
comments,
saying.
so-
Yeah.
Well, better help or Chris. Anyway,
Chris, come on, you prefer me, Chris. Your nephew takes care of me, and I appreciate it. You've raised a fine boy.
You didn't raise him.
Well, you know.
it was there. You saw it happen. Right. Another thing I wanted to talk about was
God, this is so shit,
schooling.
isn't it?
Schooling.
Yeah, you went to a boarding school, didn't you?
I went to a boarding school, mate. Yeah, no
Which is
disableds there.
There was no disabled.
No, but you
There's
were
probably
there.
some autists, but
were there,
hang
weren't
on,
you?
hang on.
hang on.
You didn't have any disabled.
There was a severely autistic kid that would instead of a backpack, he'd use a suitcase.
Yeah, and
And we'd
where
all
did
go.
you?
We'd all go Mason, Terminal 5, mate. It was very funny
Oh, that sounds really funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
because he had a suitcase instead of a backpack.
Yeah.
Because he was
Yeah, because he was autistic and he liked flying, yeah. And he liked suitcases,
probably
yeah.
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 So, because you guys, you couldn't even leave school. You were like trapped.
Not
there.
everyone boarded. You could go for the day. That was an option.
But you couldn't go like, I could just go.
What was the best thing about it? Like, because did you ever have any experience in a public school or?
Only when I was dead young, like before year 4.
Right, yeah.
For year 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to that school in year 5 and just stayed there.
How much was it
10 grand a
to
year.
attend? 10 grand a year. So your dad didn't love you that much?
What do you mean?
Like, there's private schools that cost more than 10 grand.
Yeah, there is.
A
Yeah.
year.
No,
10
it's still
grand a year.
really expensive, don't get me wrong.
Wait, hang on. For a child that probably can't spell his own name yet. And
Oh,
you're
right, when you're
going-
young, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're going to go, right, 10 grand. If I don't get a name in the next 2 weeks, I'm pissed off. You know what I mean?
I think it's
I need
more.
my money back.
I think the benefit.
So,
The argument of the benefit is more that they would argue by being in that school, you're surrounded with better people. They would argue.
Yeah, that's great. You're surrounded by better people, but he's still 4. Like, I don't know anybody that I know. Do you know what I mean? It don't matter who you surround yourself with when
10
you're
grand
7
for
years
a
old.
4-year-old. Wait, when was the first time?
No, I
you
would've
went?
been about 12.
You'd have been
I
about
would've been
12,
about
right?
Year
12.
4.
Prime age for a private school.
Yeah, but
Year
year 4 is
5.
not 12, is it?
Year 5 would be about
No, 9.
9.
So clearly the education hasn't worked because I can do maths. I went to special school where
Got
we
3
didn't have
GCSEs.
any GCSEs.
But I don't. Can you? So right, okay, right. By their logic, you've gone to private school.
I think it was cheaper when you were younger, to be fair, but still it was thousands.
Yeah. So let's say you go to private school, and then later on in life, you're doing something. You're in the politics. You're in local politics,
Oh, right.
and you bump into a guy that you used to go to primary school with, and he's a local MP,
Oh, right.
and you're trying to get this legislation off. You think you're gonna go, "Oi, Steve? Do you not remember when we played rounders?"
Might do.
We go way back to rounders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But we played rounders
when
when we were older too.
So what you're saying is it's a networking thing. If you go private school, you're gonna get.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. 12-year-olds aren't networking.
No,
and even if you are,
I don't think Dom's networking now, let alone at 12.
Well,
I'm good at networking.
I mean, talking.
Why do you think I get so many gigs? I'm not good at comedy, am I?
No, you are good at comedy.
Thanks, mate.
But comedy's subjective.
That is true. Also,
Right, you've said not to bully Dom. I'm gonna. Have
Who
to
said that? Did
be
you
on my
tell not
best
to bully
behaviour.
me?
yeah, before he come here, I said don't.
I don't know why. I have a thing about bullying. I think it's probably because he is funnier than me.
Why did you tell him not to bully me?
Because we didn't want you to cry. Right. Anyway, private education.
The last time I saw
I
you,
got
bully,
some-
the
I
last
got
time I
some-
saw you bullied me, and then you messaged me apologising,
Yeah.
and then ended
well,
the message with saying, "But you're still gay."
well, that's did I?
Yeah, you said sorry for taking the piss out of you. I don't mean it, but you're still gay though.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with being gay.
Yeah, there's not.
That's
No.
true.
So I wasn't giving you a bad thing. I was just saying, you're still gay in my eyes, and
Still getting my eyes.
still gay in my eyes.
If I'm gay in your eyes, that
That's
sounds like
saucy.
you want me to be gay.
Gay in
That's
my
what it
eyes sounds dodgy, doesn't it?
Sounds like I'm coming in your eyes.
I was
yeah.
getting someone's eyes once, and they were not happy about
Yeah,
it.
you took. Oh right,
She was really upset.
that's not being gay, though, is it?
But
She-
okay, it was. Well,
You were being straight in
Right,
her
let's
eyes.
stop before we get cancelled. I mean, there's not
Not
enough
good
people.
aim.
There's not enough people watching to get cancelled.
so anyway, so
can't-
let's talk about, because I wanted to talk about my school was great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. You know, the teachers didn't really. They knew we were all going to fail in life.
What?
They knew.
What? You can't just be like,
They were aware. They were
yeah,
like,
these teachers know we're retarded. So.
Is there not some people in your school doing from that are doing-
No.
Oh really?
Nobody's doing. I think there was about. I went to a school in Kersley, which is like kind of bordering Salford and Bolton.
Right.
And there was about 30 kids in our year, and I think about 25% of us passed over 4 GCSEs.
That's better than my school.
But you went to a special needs school, Beck.
Oh yeah.
I went to a school.
Yeah, but you were in a specialist class.
Yeah, right. Well, I did get taken out to the special school class every now and then.
Every now and then, just to visit.
Yeah, it was more of like a special room. It weren't like,
Oh right.
and they'd just get they'd just gather them together,
Put them all together.
all the special ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Oh, my school was completely weird.
Your school was like top trumps of special needs, wasn't it?
We had a lot of disabilities, and this is what annoys me on Instagram when people say and comment I'm ableist, like blue-haired women commenting I'm ableist. It's like, yes, I might say ableist things, but if you see what I've been brought up in,
What does that mean when you don't like people who can do stuff?
No, ableist is it's weird. The word's backwards. It's like when you
Surely it should be
well,
disableist,
yeah, when
shouldn't
you,
it?
it's like when you don't like people in wheelchairs or with disabilities. Sorry,
That's mental.
See, that's an ableist comment that I
It
just
should
made.
be a
assuming that everyone with a
disableist.
disability is in a wheelchair. It's not.
You can make them though. It's like black people can
Yeah,
say.
no, that's exactly what
the
I said to
N-word, can't
this
they?
woman, and a lot of people in the comments were defending me, saying,
If anyone's going to make the joke.
but it's just blue-haired women. You know what they're like.
Yeah.
It's just,
Bitches.
just
Smelly.
some of them are really funny, like, and you're like, whoa, your hair colour's really off-putting. You actually got a good sense of humour.
Mm.
But some of them
Coraline.
just absolutely just don't like me saying diabetes isn't a real disability.
Well, is it really a disability? It's more
Let's
of
not
a
get into that.
Do you know what's interesting though?
more of a
Is
choice.
a lot of people, and I was maybe of this belief. A lot of people would say we overreacted to the coronavirus and that we should have. It was a waste of time. But I met a guy yesterday that almost was in intensive care for 15 weeks.
I met
because
a
of-
guy who was in a coma from COVID.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, because of COVID or just through it?
I think he got pneumonia or something, and it was and they put him in an induced
OG
coma. Yeah. And so I said to him, he was a wagon driver at the festival, and I said to him, what was it like being in a coma? That's cool.
Mm.
You know, and he was like, oh, I lived a different life. He
Reckon
said I could breathe underwater.
reckon he woke up just like really feeling really good. He just had a really long
No,
nap.
he thought he'd been shot and that and stabbed, and he
really?
thought someone had taken his liver.
How long was his coma?
It was 21 days.
21.
He said to me, he said it was mental. He said, when you go into a coma, you get given God's laptop. right? And
Find out
it's
God
like
to,
a
and you
map.
find out you look for it on his hard drive and find out God was a paedophile.
Picture of young Jesus.
No wonder the children have been getting into heaven.
In the manger, you freak.
Oh
No,
God! You have to get the paedophile hunters on you.
So
That's going to upset a lot
No, he
of
sends them
Christians.
to hell so he can't get found out.
Yeah.
So anyway, apparently on this laptop, it's like a MacBook, but it folds out into 3, you know, and you can go to like the past and the future and like undo all your sins and make right with all the people that you misdeeded in your life before you die, and that's why everyone was trying to kill him. They were trying to like get this laptop off him.
So he's
that's why he got
basically-
shot and got his lungs
I
taken
didn't think
out.
laptops was a thing back then.
What?
He's God. Everything exists.
He's in coma land.
But Steve Jobs made laptops.
He's in coma land.
MacBooks.
It's current.
No, if you're God, you can make anything. Doesn't matter if it
He didn't
exists or
invent the
not.
Mac, but you can't say that of Steve Jobs.
I guess maybe Steve Jobs was God.
Yeah, but no, it's more of like
Interesting
if
theory.
God does exist, which I'm unsure. Don't know.
Anyway,
If God does exist, he's been a bastard to you, hasn't he?
If God does exist, I want to challenge him.
Do you want a refund?
I just want to challenge him to a fight. And
it's a fist fight.
you know, if he could let me up into heaven. I know there's a stairway there, but just let me up.
If you could find a cure to cure your disability and have you see your legs, would you do that?
You're asking me now, so
Because you don't seem to give a fuck.
my answer now would be no. But if you,
Well, you'd rather be disabled.
that's not the way I see it, though. Because right, so a few years ago, if you said, would you want to cure your disability? And my friend in this special school, he had a different disability to me, more severe, I would say, and he
Yeah.
had an option to cure it, right? And one of the teachers shouldn't have told me this, but told me that he had this option, and he said no. I don't want it. And at that time, I couldn't understand. I was like, if I had the opportunity, I'd take it. I want legs. I want to walk. But then I think through doing comedy and through just taking my time with it, I've accepted my disability. I realised this is who I am. If I now learn to walk, it'll be a completely different life. I've never walked before.
Didn't
Yeah.
it used to be
Maybe
less...
you'd have to do things you didn't want to do now.
Yeah, and it'll be
That'd
like
be shit,
the
wouldn't it?
sympathy will be gone. Like I'll have to make my own shit. I'll have to learn to cook. Like life is so fucking easy when you're in a chair. You don't have to do fuck all.
Are you advocating?
You'd
for
love
it?
it. You would
Do you know
fucking
what?
love
Yeah.
it.
You know what we could do? We could start a
You would-
business like
Become disabled.
yeah, like instead of euthanasia.
Just line up the women and I'll just start fucking them and just infect them. No,
with
Well,
what?
and
I don't think cerebral palsy is sexually
no,
transmitted.
it's not. I was just trying to be funny. It's not infected.
That's not. Well, just
No, that's not funny either.
just for educational purposes.
Just for educational purposes. But that's the thing I asked. I did ask my teacher in a sex education lesson.
What can I have a go?
No, on her. Excuse me, miss, can I have a go on you? No, I said.
Did they do sex education in their special school?
Yeah, it was weird, mate.
Was it different to... It would have been different to normal.
Definitely.
Were they like, if you want to have sex in a
So go
chair?
on, tell us about it.
Well, there wasn't much to tell because it wasn't much of a. Right, put my hand. Like, he can do it. He's fine.
Yeah, nothing.
But you do it again, I swear to God.
What?
I'll make you disabled for sure.
Stab him in the dick.
No, so the thing with the school and the sex education is they do sex education. It was very weird.
Were the teachers disabled?
No,
Yeah, they
Oh,
were.
were they?
So one teacher was disabled.
No, that
and-
What was
seems like
wrong
a
with
bad
him?
idea.
what was wrong with her? I'm pretty sure she had the same disability as me.
Wheelchair?
No, she
Hang
was.
on. Who gives a fuck? I'm trying to find out about
I'm
sex
asking
education.
questions. Leave me
Yeah, no,
alone,
but
man. We'll
let's-
get to that. Fuck
enough.
you.
Enough. Alex is going to hate editing
wanted
this.
to- I wanted
Alex,
to-
I'm sorry. I appreciate the opportunity. I hope your Edinburgh
Appreciate
show
the
went.
opportunity.
I
Yeah.
hope your Edinburgh show went well. And if this part isn't, anyway, ask your question and I'll answer the important part.
I can't remember what it
All
was.
right, brilliant.
Right.
Sex education.
Sex education, right? Sex education,
You need to
everybody.
sit into the mic.
And it's sex education. So with the sex education, I don't know how normal sex education works, but like,
Well,
obviously they had the diagrams and shit like that. But you have all the kids were separated into ability groups. I think the women were separated, and
Into the lowest ability group. All right. Sorry, ladies.
no, so they're separated, and some of the kids. There was one kid apparently when he saw what a willy was, he just went, "That's my wiggly pole."
It's wiggly pole.
Like he used to just call his willy his wiggly pole.
And it's called,
Yes,
was
it's
called
accurate.
Beck. Was you?
And yep, good try. And
Oh dear.
yeah, it was fucking weird. You go on there, we wouldn't learn much.
So wait.
Like, because to be honest, I don't want to be mean to any of them, but I'm not getting any sex.
You had
And-
sex, haven't you?
Yeah, but I've had to pay for it. Don't I? Yeah,
Yeah, but you still needed the education.
definitely
Wait, hang on,
didn't.
hang on,
I'd
hang
argue
on.
even more so
But what I'm
because
saying is none of them were gonna get sex, and I don't think any of them. Some of them certainly, bless them, didn't have the intelligence to know what sex was.
really.
I don't think. I was in the school, like I said, it was ranging from people that had ADHD and probably shouldn't have been in that school and moved from behavioural units to people that couldn't. I have a friend, I love him to bits, one of my best friends, and he can't speak. He uses his eyes to communicate.
How do you hang out with him then?
Because I just said he uses his eyes to communicate. So
What does he-
I've learned how he communicates. You ask him questions. It's like you go, are you having fun? Yes. And he'd put his eyes to the side for no. And
Really?
he's got a really, really great sense
Like
of
the
humour.
guy on Breaking Bad with the bell.
Well, that's a bit offensive
Is
to him,
it?
to my friend. What's he done? He's not here. He can't defend himself.
All right, all you do all day is fucking take the piss out of me, and now you're
Yeah,
going
because you're in the ladder of life. Like I'm at the bottom. I'm at the bottom. You've got a dad with money. You've got this. So it's like kind of. I don't know. It's like a jealous dig. It's kind of like.
Well, then it's not my fault, is
if
it?
you're privileged in life, you've got to be able to take it. That's just how it works from people that are just.
I'm not involved in this.
Anyway, sex education. It was a weird one, but I did ask. I went up. So basically, we had this sex education, and they would show us. I was going to say videos then, but they'd show us like diagram videos and shit, and they wouldn't really teach us anything like useful, because like they didn't teach us any sex positions for being in a chair. That's what I was hoping.
Useful.
Like no sex positions in a chair or anything. It was just how's a baby made and that general stuff. But I did go and ask my teacher. I was like, Miss, if I have sex with a girl in a wheelchair, come in her. I don't think I said come in her. I might have said something like sperm or whatever because I'm not.
Right, go on. That's yeah.
And then.
What?
Will she become disabled? Will the kid become disabled? Basically,
Good question.
if I had sex with someone with my disability, or if I have sex with a girl, have I got more chance of making that kid disabled?
Yeah.
And then she was like, no. So I was like,
Oh, that's good.
which I
Well,
turned,
you got
I
the
turned that into a bit now on stage where I'm like, oh, that's a shame. I'd love a disabled child. I don't know what to do with a normal one.
Then I'd be able to, you
Right.
know. Mm.
Cool.
Yeah. But
It's interesting.
My school was wild. I got plenty more stories of.
I'm interested.
Your school seems like the wild, wild west. of
Well, my
fucking-
first Edinburgh show, I'm hoping when I start writing it, it's going to be all on the school. So
You had a good story about midgets, didn't
midgets. Probably should call them dwarfs, but
you? Because I had a dwarf guy at my school, and he could just kick himself straight in the face.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't have like a knee or whatever. They don't like the knees are weird. So
It's
he
'cause they're like,
just
Wouldn't be very good at Muay Thai then.
And he
would
used to go. Yeah, I got something for you.
Right.
Stick his middle finger up at you.
Dwarfs are wild, man. I love them. I love all creatures.
Oh.
No, I love all people. Why did I say that? Why did I say
You meant to say that.
No, that wasn't even a. Oh, I'm getting cancelled.
Go yeah.
You have to have a career to get cancelled anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to tell this fucking out. So
Go
in
on,
my
you can
school,
tell it, yeah.
I don't know what was in Dom's school, probably a croquet pitch and a tennis court. In my school,
He had
We had
their
tennis
own
courts.
golf
yeah, he had a tennis
course.
court
No, he
and,
didn't.
and a golf course and probably a butler that shined his shoes.
I
and
played
that.
I did go to play at a school that had a golf course. That was quite cool.
Well, in my school, we had a sensory room,
Right.
which would have been great to take like MDMA in there and fucking look at all the lights.
What is that? Is that like?
Obviously not at like 10 or whatever. You're taking MDMA and looking at the body.
What's it like rugs and that and
It's rugs
crinkly
and like
things?
lights with like purple bubbles in, and it's like noises, and it's all for people that have sensory overload. Basically, it's like an autism capture room.
Right, I
Mm.
know.
Call it. And then we've got
Like the inside of a Pokeball.
yeah, and then we've got the
For the autistic.
that was good. And then we got a soft play area. So we used to have for our lunchtime be able to go in this soft play area. And I used to fucking fight these kids.
Mm.
I was a kid, and some of them were more disabled than me. I shouldn't have done this, but me and my mate, had the similar disabilities, so we started having a scrap. and obviously
It was even.
this dwarf like walks, well, he waddles in, and because they walk like in a certain way, they put one foot in front of the other. It's the disabled walk, and then waddles in.
I think 1 foot in front of
And
the other is fairly
my
universal.
mate picks him up,
Right.
and throws him
Yeah.
across the room, and he loves it. He loved that. And that was it. We were 10 years old, thinking that was acceptable to throw dwarves
Just
across
boys,
the room.
just boys having
Just
fun.
boys having fun. And then we had like a big ring, right, where you could put people in it, and we had a slide. So we put this dwarf in this slide in this big ring.
Yeah.
Put him in it and rolled him down this hill. Which was pretty cool. We had some fun. What else I got?
Because
Got given a skipping rope.
I would like sports classes work. Would they kind of like?
I did gymnastics. I did.
Gymnastics?
Yeah,
At a disabled school?
Yeah, it was a bit insensitive.
That's like one of the most
Yeah,
like
it was-
body,
yeah,
like
yeah.
athletic sports in the
yeah,
world,
it was
probably.
bad thinking on their part. I don't know. So I got
like tightrope walking. How about
no,
just
we do
walking?
things they put us in like you know when you get when you remove.
That was funny. Give him a fucking.
I'm zoned in.
He's
Sorry,
getting
what were you
them
what were you
tight
saying?
stories.
What- no, what were you
How about
saying?
walk- he said-
I
he
wanna-
said-
I
he
want to
said-
appreciate it.
He
I don't
said
want-
he
you'll
said
hear it
tightrope
back.
walking. How about we start with walking?
I think I blocked that out because I've heard those jokes so many times that it's
Listen, there was momentum. He's
I-
destroyed it. It's
just,
fine.
No. I apologise. He does this all the time.
Why did you apologise then?
I'm just apologising because I will go off on tangents in this podcast. It's going
Listen.
to be about 4 hours.
What people won't know is Beck used to do our clips for a short
No,
period
he
of
didn't.
time.
He did one batch of clips.
No, I did 3, and I was like, that's
Yeah, one
enough listening
batch.
to Dom for one day. I could listen to Ethan all day, but I felt kind of bad just clipping Ethan up. I was like, I can't not. Alex was all right. You could kind of put Alex on the edge, and he's got his little laughter and little bits that he says in between, which is sick.
Yeah, what was wrong with me then?
Nothing was wrong with you. Just sometimes if Ethan, well, it was mainly Ethan, had something really funny to say, you'd like do what you just did and be like, so I got some ice cream the other day. You just like butt in at random times,
Sometimes
which
he
is
does
fine.
have
I
ice
do
cream.
that as well, like going off on tangents, but just for editing, it was kind of annoying.
Might get some ice cream today. It's a good idea, mate.
What
Yeah, man, you
flavour? Nobody cares what flavour, right?
He's thinking about it as well.
You got a whole tub of ice cream yesterday. You were eating it
I
at
did.
like 5 p.m.
Yeah, Dulce. I don't even know what it was, but it was fucking. I felt so sick afterwards.
Was it nice?
It was pretty good, yeah.
This
Maybe I'll
podcast
get
has
that
gone
one.
from talking about gym. We talk about something and then go completely different. This is
Yeah.
why we need Alex. He's an adult who'll keep us on track. So yeah, gymnastics. They did do gymnastics in my school. Very weird. You know, like when you
Was the gymnastics coach a proper like qualified coach? And he's
no. She was a
And she was like
Muslim woman.
What's wrong with that?
It's nothing. They're just very good at gymnastics, apparently.
Yeah.
imagine if it was like the ex GB gymnastics coach. Now he's coming in to wherever it was.
No, we met a Paralympic powerlifter. He
Oh,
had no
really?
legs.
Not good at squats then.
No, but he can lift weights. It's like no one
They
is.
would just do bench press, I think.
Yeah, he was strong, but we had gymnastics, and you know, like when you take toilet roll when you take the paper off, and it's like a big tube.
Mm.
They basically made us crawl through that, but big tube of it.
Alright.
It was like a massive.
They
top-
shrunk you down to
No,
the size of a toilet roll
no.
tube.
What I'm saying is, it looked like a
What-
toilet roll
with a
tube with no
laser?
paper on it, and it was a big thing with carpet inside, and you had to crawl through it. They basically make us crawl.
Are you sure that you were doing the Paralympics? This sounds like Crufts.
Yeah, it was basically crufts. There was a guy with a camera. There was dog treats. It was weird.
Was there many other kids like you that were physically disabled but mentally fine? Because that must have been quite weird for you if they were.
No,
all
that's what I
mentally-
mean. A lot of it, unfortunately, and was a lot of them were more mentally disabled than I was. Oh shit!
Get me stomach away, man.
That's on the Patreon episode for later. You've not got a Patreon. Not got enough people watching. As you,
We'll get a Patreon and
we'll get a Patreon.
Or any parts
Sorry
of
about
Beck
that.
you
Yeah,
wanna
Alex,
see.
edit that out. You don't want to see my hairs and shit.
Well, that was like the whole episode. He's gonna. It's all right. Carry on.
That don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just fat. Right. What were you talking about?
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics. Right. You were asking me a question though.
I asked you I asked if there was any more kids that were physically.
Oh yeah, so there was I had a couple of mates. Like I said, there were some of them just, like my friend who can't speak, he's still mentally, oh man, like we have a great laugh. He's got a great sense of humour, so I could talk to him, get along with him. But there'll be a lot of kids that would be on my level. But there'll be kids that'll be less physically disabled than me, but more mentally, which is weird.
Oh, right.
I was telling you that I battered one kid who could fully walk. The only thing wrong with him was he had a pacemaker. And in one lesson, he said something about me nan. He was like, "Oh, I wish your nan was dead."
Whoa.
Something like that. And at this time, at 13, 14, like I said, if you asked me, do I want to keep my legs, I'd have said, yeah, I want to fix my legs. Because at that time, when I was 13, 14, I didn't want to be in a chair. I was coming to terms with it. So when he said that, I was a very angry 13, 14-year-old. Said that. And on Thursdays, because I had a separate teacher on Thursdays, I didn't clash with her very well. So I got let out like half a day, did half a day. So it was coming up to half a day in a science lesson. He's just said that. Like, oh, come here, mate. Take him round the back of the class. Just start fucking digging him, like proper hitting him hard. And I'm like, he's not hitting back, and he's short, and he can get away. He's got full use of his legs. He's like more able than I am. He used to go to a mainstream school, so he's transferred in from the big leagues. And I was obviously take the biggest guy out in the pen. That's what you do. Yeah. So then after I fucking bat this guy, I just go over to. He's starting crying, obviously like a pussy. And then I go over to the teacher. It's my time to go now. You might want to check on that kid because I've just beat the shit out of him. See you later.
Yeah.
And just bounced. That's what I used to do. Just fucking. Yeah. So yeah, so
So that's how I used to be. Sometimes I beat up a disabled kid.
The funniest story, which is actually a bit on stick, but the actual thing is, we had a summer fair in my school, and my mum was organising the main summer fair bit. And she gives money to one of these teachers, and she says, "Right, you're in charge of the presents for all the kids. Keep in mind, 80% of the schools in like wheelchairs. Right? What does she flip it and buy? She goes out and buys skipping ropes.
Oh, for the wheelchair kids?
For all the kids in that school. This woman has been in charge of a special school full of wheelchairs that my mum's given her, like, trust this woman and gone, buy some presents. So it was the choice between a snide Barbie doll, not even a fucking real one. Like one from Poundland, Malibu Stacy kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then fucking skipping rope, and it's just like, well, what the fuck? And I think
Which one did you take then?
Well, obviously I got given a skipping rope, and then there was a lot of people queuing back up to Santa, being like, "What's up with this Santa? Is this some kind of sick joke?"
Oh, were they going back round?
Well, obviously people were going to complain.
Were they?
Because you've just given the kid in a wheelchair, like, a skipping rope, and he's paid a $5 for the privilege. He's paid a $5 to get insulted. Yeah. And then, obviously, all the boys got given skipping ropes because it was a different time back then. You know, they separated them. The boys got given skipping ropes, and the girls got the dolls. So it was either you swap your skipping rope for a doll, and you'd be called all kinds of names. You know how it is. And then, obviously, and then...
You know, it's in primary school.
It's just... He wants to play with dolls in primary school, you get weird looks and stuff, and I feel like it's just... Now it'll be alright, but back in the day, nah. You get a skipping rope with that, and some of the kids would, tying the skipping rope around the wheels and around the necks. Fucking... No, not around the necks, but...
well, alright.
Around the wheels. Yeah, sorry, it's been a manic episode, but I've loved it.
That beautiful end. So
Dom said about 4 words.
People ending their lives. Well, in this episode, I reckon. So thanks, everyone, for listening. Please like, subscribe, do all the stuff you need to do. What?
We've done no gripes
Beck's
of the
got
week.
to go in a bit.
We've done no sections. Have you not got a gripe of the week?
No, it's all right. That'll do, I reckon.
Yeah, that'll do. I've done about...
Didn't even let him get to the end of his sentence.
I've talked long enough. Well, I appreciate... Well, thank you for having me on, boys. It's been it's been a pleasure. I do feel weird. I've sat in this chair. This is the longest I've sat in a chair that's not been mine.
You can take it home with you if you want.
I feel like...
We're trying to get rid of this guy.
My ass is very sweaty. I'm a very sweaty ass guy.
Sweaty ass guy.
And the thing with the thing before I go, the thing with wheelchairs is my closing message. The thing with wheelchairs is they make comfy ass cushions, Dom. Like your ass feels like it's in heaven, right? Fucking premium. And then the thing is £150. But what would you think would be a design floor of a wheelchair cushion if you were to be like, right, if we're designing a wheelchair cushion, let's not put this feature on it, or let's make sure...
I'd have a massive dildo in the middle of mine.
Nice. Well,
just to keep you on there.
Just keep me on there, yeah. Just strapped in. Buckaroo.
In case of any incline or
Put a little motor on the cushion. Shh, don't turn it off. This is good stuff.
I'm not. I'm checking. I thought we was finishing.
No, we are finishing. But what I'm saying is, wheelchair cushions, man, they're fucking sick. You should all get one. But the only problem with wheelchair cushions is, and the reason my arse is sweaty, is the design flaw of a wheelchair cushion is it's £150, but you can't fucking wash it. If you wash it, it's memory foam. It gets broken. So I just have like the stinkiest cushion like ever. So when I get out of my chair, it's just stinking out gaffs.
Cool. All right. Cheers, everyone. See you later then.
No response for that.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.